ውድ ይህ ቻናል ተከታታዮቼ ሰላም ናችሁ? ባላችሁበት ሁሉ ሰላም ይብዛላችሁ። ይህን ቻናል ወዳችሁና አፈቅራችሁ ስለምትከታተሉ ከልብ እያመሰገንኩ ሰብስክራይብ ማድረግ እንዳትረሱ እያልኩ ዛሬ የምንማረው ባዮሎጂ 12ኛ ክላስ ነው። ባለፈው ከላይ ትንሽ ነገር አይተን ነበር። ዛሬ ዲፕሊ ገብተን እናያለን። ምክንያቱም አንድ ዩኒት እንዴት አድርገን በቀላሉ መረዳት እንደሚቻል የምናየው ይሆናል። So in previous class from this chapter 1 we seen about how one chapter easily understanding it is aim to start as chapter 1. So in chapter 1 says that biology in grade 12 chapter 1 about microorganism. There are different types of microorganism in group protozoa, fungi, algae, bacteria, and virus. By their definition, microorganism is a small organism. So we cannot see by our naked eye. We can see by aided microscope. So protozoa are eukaryotic cell and unicellular, like cell wall. They have no cell wall. For example, protozoans, amoeba, plasmodium. Fungi, eukaryotic cell, non-cellular cell wall. Only yeast are unicellular fungi. Most have hyphae which form mammalian cells. So amoeba, for example, in the examples of fungi, yeast, candida, that means a transmissional disease from fungi is known as candida. Algae, eukaryotic cell, non-cellular cell wall. Unicellular algae are a part of plankton. This plankton, it is found on pond or lake. A green pigment color in the algae. Chlamydium is best examples of algae. Bacteria, prokaryotic cell. Only prokaryotic cell is bacteria. Non-cellular cell wall. All are what? Unicellular. That means single cell. Streptococcus and lactobacillus. Virus, a cellular made only of nucleic acid and protein coat. For example, HIV, influenza, and virus. Eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. How we can differentiate both of them? The main differentiation by their size. Prokaryotic is small, eukaryotic in size large. In the case of nucleus, in prokaryotic cell, no nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. In the case of DNA, in prokaryotic cell, in continuous loop and no chromosome. Eukaryotic cells, linear DNA in the chromosome. In the case of mitochondria, absent, but all can still respire in prokaryotic. In eukaryotic, present mitochondria. Chloroplast, absent in prokaryotic, but some can photosynthesis. And eukaryotic is present in some case, chloroplast. Ribosome is small in prokaryotic, 70S, and large in eukaryotic. Present large eukaryotic, 18S. The main shape of bacterial cells are coca, spheres, lacteus, bacillus, rod, and spiritocoid, spiral. Bacteria can be classified into germ positive and germ negative by their response to germ stain. This germ stain is a pink color that differentiates which bacteria is positive in germ, which bacteria is negative in germ. This is germ skin function. Microorganisms can differ in different ways. Bacteria release toxic that affect cell as multiple. It causes disease. Virus enter cells and take over the metabolic machinery of this cell. By this case, virus can cause disease. Fungi secrete enzymes that digest substances in the tissue where they grow. Already we've seen that in previous class, fungi is what? Grow on another animal or another organism. To get nutrition, it secretes enzyme. This enzyme is very hard enzyme to solubilize the another in tissue. After that, it can feed and grow. Protozoa have no set pattern of cause disease. The main method of transmission of disease are what? Droplet infection, drink contaminated water, and eating contaminated food. Direct contact, sexual intercourse, blood-to-blood contact, animal vector. This is a way of transmission of disease. For example, droplet infection is common cold, drink contaminated water, and eat contaminated foods are what? Amoeba, direct contact, Ebola, sexual intercourse, HIV, blood-to-blood contact, HIV, and in additionally sexual intercourse, gonorrhea, syphilis, are and different diseases that transmit sexual intercourse. So animals vector, that means beating dog, rabies disease is transmitted, and disease can be categorized. Infectious disease, human-induced disease, and degenerative disease, genetic disease, and deficiency disease, and social disease. So disease can be categorized. Infectious disease is caused by entry of some organism into the body. Human-induced disease caused by lifestyle working condition. For example, heart disease is human-induced disease. Degenerative disease is often the result of aging. For example, arterials. Genetic disease in mutated allele sometimes cause a large malfunction. For example, hemophilia. This hemophilia is genetic disease. Deficiency disease is caused by lack of specific nutrient. For example, scurvy. Social disease is result from social activity. For example, alcoholism. Bacteria are involved in the cycle minerals through ecosystem. They include carbon, nitrogen, sulfur. Bacteria have been used to manufacture broad alcohols and ergo. They are also used in production of antibiotics, sewage treatment, and water purification, as well as many other key processes. Bacteria can be genetically modified by transferring a gene from another organism. The newly formed transgenic bacterium is the ability to carry out the process specified by its new gene. Viruses are different from other microorganisms because they have what? No cellular organelle, and so cannot carry out any metabolic process. They must all enter other cell to what? Reproduce. Virus can be classified into DNA virus, RNA virus, and retrovirus. There are 3 different life cycles in virus. Lytic cycle, infection causes that host cell to burst and release new virus. Lysogenic life cycle, infection causes the virus to enter latent state, where its DNA is reproduced with the host DNA. But no DNA new virus are formed in the case of lysogenic life cycle. Chronic release life cycle.